So, hello and welcome everyone to this brand new video with my client, my friend, Jay Hastings. He is an awesome person, an awesome client, and I would consider a really great friend. We've been working together for over a year now, and it's been nothing but a blessing. And he's helping people inspire, he's helping many people be inspired globally to reach freedom, build their business, and ultimately make the most out of their lives. So, welcome, Jay Hastings.
Thank you so much, Jay Hyatt. Really good to see you. And the fact that you said that we're also friends as well, that makes me feel good. Yeah. So thank you so much, Jay. Yes, we are good friends. As well as that, working with you has been great. So good stuff. Thank you very much for inviting me on.
Appreciate it. So let's just jump right into it. So you've made seven figures online. You used to work a 9 to 5, and that's ultimately your passion, your purpose to help people, quit their 9 to 5s and build something that they're proud of.
Yeah.
And take us through that journey or take us through the journey of, you being at the beginning of your journey, having
Mhm.
that, that foggy mindset, not knowing what to do, to being
Yeah.
able to break out of the matrix, right? How people
Yeah.
call it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and actually follow your dreams. Like what was the beginning part of that era?
I tell you what, it all stemmed from, for me, it was all about how I was raised as a child. I grew up in a single parent family. My mum struggled a lot, really a lot. And for me, I would look at stuff like that. And, we weren't able to, my mum would always say to me, don't open the door. If the door knocks, don't open the door because it could be, the debt collectors coming to take away some of your stuff. So I always knew from a very early age that we were struggling. And I knew that I didn't want to have that when I got older. I really genuinely did. As I then, started getting older, the my household wasn't always the easiest place to live in. So I moved out at the age of 17, and I ended up homeless at the age of 18. So I moved in with a girlfriend at the time. And then when me and her split up, I didn't have anywhere to go and I couldn't go back to the family home. So I was homeless. So I went to live in a abandoned house in South London. And I was there with one of my friends. His sister was there and her boyfriend. And yeah, I mean, I was young. I was only like 18. I was there for maybe about 2 years. And I was very concerned when I lived there. I was very concerned that I was going to end up to be a bum. Yeah, I was really concerned about that because that's the route that I was going down. I was just, loafing really, just kind of smoking, weed pretty much every single day, and lots of it every day. And just being in that environment, everything about it was I'm heading towards becoming a bum. And I remember that growing up, family members, really close family members and other people would kind of say that that's where I was going to end up. They would say that, some of my uncles were not the most law-abiding people and served some time in prison. And, the thought process was that I'm going to do the exact same. And that was the expectation that, I didn't really do good in school. I didn't finish with any top grades by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
I passed like one. I got like one C. I know things are a bit different now the way the qualifications go, but I got like a C for English, and that was about it. Yeah, that was it. So I was destined to be a bum. Yeah, that's what my family and other people thought. So all of that, whilst living in a squat, just not really doing much, just kind of wasting my life away, smoking a lot of weed, and having that in the back of my mind that these people are going to win. They kind of put a label on me, and I'm kind of now playing into that label. I
Yeah.
can't have that. I can't have it. I can't have it.
So where was the part where you shifted your beliefs? Because at least for me, I think there's always something or someone, whether that's an idol or a father figure, maybe it was a book, maybe it was running away from the expectations that people thought you would meet, right? Ending up in prison. What was
Yeah.
the thing that kind of I guess, lit you on fire and realized, okay, I need to stop smoking weed. I need to change my life around. Was there
That's,
any particular moment, or was
yeah,
it just,
there
yeah,
was. That's a good question because there was a real clear moment. I was in the squat in the abandoned house, and I'm just bumming it, yeah, not really doing eating like baked beans for like dinner. And then I I thought to myself, I can't do this no more. I said, next week Thursday, when I get my government check, so I was getting, the dole, we call it the dole. I'm
yeah.
sure it's something similar, right? The government check. Yeah, I was £80 every 2 weeks, and I said, when I get on next week Thursday, when I get that dole money, I'm going to change my life. Have got to. Otherwise, I'm going to be a bum. So on that Thursday, I got my check. I walked the streets of London, got myself a little temping job. That led to another job, led to another job. And then before you knew it, I was working for a big corporate company, only in the call center on the telephone, but some big, massive insurance company over here in the UK. And when I had my induction, I remember the lady saying, this, you might be starting in the call center, but this isn't, just a job for now. This can be your career. And I was sitting there. Her name was Stephanie Clarick. Yeah, I'll never forget. I was sitting there. I'm like, yeah, this is me. This is me. I'm going to work my way up. And that was the plan, to work my way up. So I started on the phones and then started, I was so dedicated. I got moved off the phones to do some other work and then some other things. And then I got paid management. So before the age of 21, I was a manager. I was a team leader, because I was so dedicated to work. And then before the age of 24, I was like an assistant manager for the whole department. As I'm 24 years old, but I was dedicated and focused. And then there was two men in my life at that sort of time that really inspired me. One of them was called Andy Webb. He was one of the executive directors at the insurance company that I was working with. Although he was like, executive director, he was still a really nice guy, would talk to everyone. He had this Lamborghini and I really liked the guy. He would talk to me. He gave me some of his time, and that meant a lot to me, a heck of a lot. And I would see him. I remember seeing him drive out the office car park in his Lamborghini, and he just put down his window a little bit, just a little bit. He's like, you guys are right. I was with a few people. He's like, yeah, you're right there, chaps. That's what he said. Yeah, you're right, chaps. Yeah, in the typical British way. Yeah, you're right, chaps. And then he was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I just thought, how cool is that? And he would wear the black Prada, the jumper, the black Prada jeans or trousers, the Prada boots, everything Prada'd out, yeah. And I'm just looking at this guy, thinking, yeah, I want to be like this guy, So he was a big inspiration for me. And then one of my friends, his dad was a property investor, and I remember his dad. I grew up like being really close to my friend and his family, and I grew up. Well, I'd speak to him and say to him like, he started investing in his properties, and he's like, I've got all this time on my hands. Like, what should I do with this time? I'm thinking that if I had that time on my hands, I'll be doing this. At the time, I think it was like FIFA or something like that on the PlayStation. I'll be playing that left, right, like 24/7. That's me. So he was very inspirational. And then he's actually the person that inspired me to actually start buying some properties. Not that I had any money. I didn't have any money to buy properties in 2007. This was. I didn't have any money. I had a lot of determination. So I raised what money I needed to buy my first property off the back of being inspired by my friend's dad. And then I bought another one and then another one, again, just raising the money each time. And then the recession kicked in. So I thought, let me try some other things. So I tried trading stock markets. I was trying multi-level marketing, network marketing, everything, all these affiliate marketing, any little gimmick, anything where it said, all you got to do, yeah, to
Yes.
make money, all you got to do, anything that said that, I was there. Yeah. I was signing up. But then after that, I realized that this wasn't the path for success. I realized that this wasn't going to get me to where it is that I wanted to be. Um, I got to a point, in 2012, or it was actually 2011, that I got sick to death of, not achieving what I wanted to achieve. And that was just to mainly leave the day job. I wanted success. I wanted to have free time, as per what I saw my friend's dad did. I wanted free time. I wanted success. Bad, bad. And in 2011, I said, I'm not going to any more events or anything like that. I'm just going to get my head down and just really try and make this work. Funny enough, it was my daughter's mother um, who suggested that I go and see this guy, a mentor, like, some guy that was, I'm like, look, I've been to all these events. I've seen Tony Robbins. I've seen Les Brown. I've seen Eric Thomas. I've seen the other person, the other person. Everyone's just chatting the same thing. Like, just do it, man. Get up there. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Everyone's saying the same sort of flipping motivational crap. But what about when you're away from the environment? 2 weeks out later, where I haven't got Tony Robbins saying, yeah, come on, come on. What happens then? Then you're back to square one. So what's the point? What's the point in going to all these motivational seminars where it's just like you get pumped up for the time that you're there and maybe a day after, but then after that, you're just back to normal. So what's the point? But she said to me, all right, I understand where you're coming from, Jay, but I really think you should see this guy. So I said, all right, fine, I'll go and see him, right? So I went to see this guy, and this guy I really liked him. I really resonated with him. His name was Wilson, and I really, really resonated with this guy. This guy was no bullshit. This guy was to the point. We're talking, listen, you lot, you want to make money. What flipping crap are you doing to make money? And whatever you're doing ain't working because you're not getting the results. Like, what the F are? And that's how he would speak. And he's like, what the F are you doing? I'm like, well, I'll tell you what, I'm thinking about this network marketing thing. He's like, why the F are you doing that? What are you doing that for? And I'm like, well, the thing is, right? The thing is, yeah. And he's like, look, you're trying to market this flipping network marketing business, right? This product. Yeah. Who in this room wants this product? Is this little, I was doing these little like gold and silver coins thing at the time, right? He said, who wants this? Who's going to buy this off Jay? No one put their hand up. There was a room full of about maybe 30 people. No one put up their hand. He's like, Jay, look, you're messing around with all this stuff. You can see that people don't necessarily even want it. But in addition to that, you're trying to build this downline of which if other people do something, then you get paid, then you might make some money. Why are you putting your control, your power into other people's hands? Why don't you just pick your own product? And why don't you just do something on your own? I'm like, yeah, you're right. So he said, look, you love the idea of digital marketing. I said, yeah. He said, well, who's your digital marketing mentor? I said, I haven't got one. He said, go and find yourself the top man in the UK to mentor you. So I said, all right then. So at these times here now, because I was working. I'd obviously moved out of the squat a while ago, like the abandoned house. I'd moved out from there a while ago. I'd now rented a place, like more of a lodger. I was like a lodger in a shared house. I had a car. I got rid of the car. My only thing I had this Mercedes, right? And I felt really good, yeah, because I'm management where I work. Yeah, I'm, what I mean, bordering on executive, yeah. So I had this nice little Mercedes car, and I couldn't really afford it, to be honest with you. And I had to get rid of it to pay for my mentoring. And that hurt me. That hurt, man. It did. There's a Mercedes, a CLC, a black CLC Mercedes, a brand new one. I'd only leased it, yeah. I'd leased the car, right? But in order to pay for my mentorship, I had to get rid of it. And to get rid of the car, it hurt. It really hurt because this was the thing that gave me some, I was broke and all the rest of it. Like, again, I had a few properties and stuff, but that don't mean you're making money. It was a freaking recession at the time. Do you know what I mean? So I was broke, you know what I mean? But the car gave me some sort of
self-worth.
Yeah, self-worth. I got some self-worth out of the car. And then when that car went, and then I was driving my little girl's mum, she had some little Peugeot 306 or something like that. Some old, we're talking old. This is before you was even born, my friend, yeah? Old school car, yeah? We're talking old school. We're probably talking 1980 something, yeah? The car was built, right? And now I'm rocking this little light blue Peugeot thinking, shit, like, I don't want no one to see me, right? But it allowed me to pay for the mentoring. So I had Wilson. I didn't care how much it cost me at this time. It was more about I just want to be around the right people. So with Wilson, and then he encouraged me to get the top guy in the UK. I went to a guy called Simon Coulson, and he was like the guy that was doing all the digital marketing stuff. I wrote him a letter pretty much begging him to train me. He said, look, we do have a training type business. So yeah, fine. I basically jumped on board that, but then I was really conscious about not just signing up for a course, but getting close to him. Just like how I was able to get close with the other guy, Wilson. He really liked me, and I really liked him. I was able to get really close with him. I used to help him out with all his events and everything like that. At certain points, I would just basically just do a lot of stuff with him. Would go all over the place. It was great. But I wanted the same thing with Simon. So that's where I said, look, I'll pay. I was paying both of them. Yeah, I'll pay you, but then I also want to, be close to you. So if you're doing an event where you're handing out, you need somebody to hand out brochures, I'm your man. If you need somebody to be your driver, I'm your man. If you need whatever you need, yeah, like you need somebody to be a security guard. Sometimes when you come off these big stages, you get swamped by people. So if you need me to start standing there, like, no, 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 that sort of thing, I'll do it. He's like, all right, cool.
So like you had to show your value. You had to get an exchange in value, which is
Yes.
something that a lot of people don't understand, right?
Get
You
it.
get probably DMs. I also get DMs like, "Oh, could you help me for free?" It's like you
Yeah.
need to show some sort of value, right?
I get that. We get that every day, right? Every single day. But people don't always understand about the value exchange. I was paying this guy 1,000. I think that cost me about £3,000 or £4,000. But then in addition to that, I'm also offering because I want to be close to you guys. So that was that. And because you do that, because I did that, I built up a relationship with Simon, got really close with him. He realized that I was a player, I was a real deal, like I wanted the success. So then, because we built that relationship, that then meant that he started giving me opportunity. So I started getting some results. Like he was showing me how to do affiliate marketing and all sorts. I started getting some good results. Then he was said to me, and I'll never forget it. Like it was the first time I ever spoke on a stage. He said, "All right, Jay, go up there and present your results and present everything." So I was like, "Oh shit, shit!" But I did it, and that was the first time I got out on the stage. And then after that, the guy just gave me opportunity because we built that relationship. And I was helping him because I was helping him grow his business. I started getting really good at all of this affiliate marketing stuff. I then started coaching for some of his coaching students that he had. So I was helping him, but in return, he was helping me. So there was times where there would be big events, 4,000, 5,000 people in the audience. Jay, I've got you a slot. You're up. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, shit, I ain't ready. Yeah. I ain't ready. I ain't ready. He's like, listen, well, you better get ready because do you know what I mean? This is your opportunity. So I listened to that 8 Mile, Eminem.
Yeah, yeah.
You only got one chance. Do not miss it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Opportunity comes once. That I'm listening to that religiously, yeah. And then it was my time on stage in front of like 3 or 4,000 people in the audience at the time. Went on there, done my thing, never looked back. So since then, I've spoken on stages all over the world, from the United States to Australia, all around Europe, obviously here in the UK, of course, that sort of thing. And it all came because I surrounded myself with the right people. And then I started learning, really closely what they did, what they knew, how they became successful. And as a result of that, I applied that to myself and then started getting similar results. So years on now, I've done multiple seven figures, online. I did £94,000 in my first year. When I've met Simon and everything, in my first year, I did £94,000. So since then, like I say, we've done okay. We've done really well with affiliate marketing. I've had a digital marketing agency, as well in the past. I've sold courses galore, all
Yeah.
over the world, affiliate marketing courses, Facebook courses, even YouTube and stuff. And then I then started doing really high ticket affiliate stuff, really high ticket, where I'm getting paid like £1,000 a pop, £500, £1,000 a pop for every commission I'd make. That worked out really well. Membership websites and everything. And then now, obviously, I have my own mentoring program.
Yeah,
And
tell the audience more about that because obviously your program, your mentorship is called Serious About Success,
that's
which I
correct.
think is a perfect summary of what you were during your
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
journey.
yeah.
So tell people about that.
Well, that's why the name resonated so well with me because, Serious About Success, SAS for short. So we're the SAS, but the Serious About Success crew. And basically, the reason why I created this is because I was selling loads of courses, how to become an affiliate marketer, how to set up your own digital marketing agency, all this stuff. But not that many people were going on to achieve success. And it wasn't necessarily down to the training, it was down to individuals. And obviously by coaching so many people under my mentor Simon Coulson's brand, coaching so many people under that brand, I saw so many people, and I could just see it that people are just clueless. Everyone wants to make money, but no one really understands who they need to be. They just think that, oh, if I just do this, I'll make money, but they don't realize that the characteristics that might go on with inside them will prevent them from just taking the action and doing what's required. People come up with loads of excuses. Jay, I'm going to do the affiliate marketing thing, but the thing is, I've got to take the dog for a walk, Jay. I've got to do extra time at work. I've got to take the cat to the vet. I've got to do something with my wife, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. There's always something, always something. So I decided, based on my own experience, to create something that I somewhat had. Wilson was hard, man. He really, really, really cracked my skull open in terms of who I needed to be. Seriously, he really went deep. I loved it. I needed tough love. I grew up in a tough environment. You can't put your arm around me and stroke my head and try and give me some advice and think that I'm gonna take that on board. I'm not. I need some tough love. Listen, what the are you doing? You flipping idiot. Like, come on. That's what I needed. And he did that.
Yeah.
For me. So because he helped me to understand who I needed to become, I thought, let me now incorporate that into my own training. Now, I'm not the same as him. I'm not as brutal as him because he also rubbed so many people up the wrong way. He really did, because he didn't adjust his style to different people. Whereas I've learned from that. And that is that, I'm really good at what I do. So, I understand psychology really, really, really well. So as a result of that, my job is to get the best out of you, not just project my own flipping insecurity, right? So my job is to get the best out of you. So some people might need an arm around them. Some people might need a little bit of tough love. Some people might need whatever. But, for me, based on my own experience of how I developed my understanding, I wanted to teach people that. So then at least then people haven't got no excuse as to why they're not achieving success. They understand who they need to be. They get it, because it's like, well, this is it. Everyone wants to make money, but how many people do you really know go on to achieve the financial freedom? Not that very, very many people in most people's situations. And the reason why they don't go on to make all the money is because they don't understand the person they need to adapt into. So I teach that a lot. But then after that, I teach based on a 3-step process. We start with the mindset and understanding who you need to become, and then I do business planning and direction. So following on from that, majority of people that I work with want to create an online business. So once we've gone through step 1, we can then get into step 2, which is all about business planning, direction. What business do you want to do? Here's how to make it work on the internet. What products are you passionate about? Or what service you want to deliver? Right, okay, fine. Let's brainstorm together. Let's come up with something that suits you. Right, let's now go out to the world and let me show you how to really, really get these things moving online. And then we got step 3, which is all about accountability. So holding people accountable all the way through until they're achieving the financial results of what they say that they want to achieve. So putting those 3 together, I've got an amazing program. Yeah, it's really good. I've had literally thousands of people come through my program now. I've had loads of people. We're talking the vast majority of people that have come through my program, my training, go on to start generating, a very decent income. I'm so proud of that. I've had like an 85-year-old man that he's been trying to make money, gets, caught up with all this get rich quick stuff. All you got to do is press this button, and, he comes to me saying, Jay, I'm struggling. If I could make an extra £200 a month, that would benefit him. I got him to a point where he's making an additional £500 a month. Now, I know it's only £500 a month. He's 85. I'm teaching him how to make money on the internet. He's 85. It's not been easy. I'm not going to lie. It hasn't been easy. But he got there. So seeing stuff like that, I've had Yvonne, who is, she's in her 70s. She, in her first, 6-7 weeks, she made about £3,000 or £4,000. That's been massive for her. She's in her 70s. They try other people's training. They don't get anywhere. They now come and do some work with me and they start getting there. But the reason why they get there is because of the three-step process, because of the mindset and the business planning and the accountability. It will make what makes all the difference. I've got other students. I've got a 23-year-old girl, her name's Joy. She's making in excess of £10,000 a month. A couple of months ago, she had her best month at £21,000. She started with me at zero in a day job, just wanted to leave it. I've got Nigel. He's up around about £16,000 a month. I've got Paul. He's between £20,000 and £30,000 a month. And I've got Stas. Stas has gone on and absolutely smashed it. Multiple six-figure business. Do you get what I mean? So like I say, I'm really proud of what we've been able to achieve, and I'm
Yeah.
proud in the way that we do it because it makes me feel that we're doing it the right way. Where you got so many things out there, all this gimmick, all you got to do is just come on my training, press this button, and you'll make all this money and all this type of gimmicky sort of rubbish. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not real. I'm not saying they're trying to rip you off. I don't know what's in their program, but I know that the everyday person is not going to make any money. Hence, 95% of people that do online courses do not make a penny, as per
Yeah.
Google. You
Just
know?
real quick, because I'm curious, because the majority of people that follow me, they really want to start or scale their coaching business, right? They're helping people,
Yeah.
in fitness and dating and whatever niche they're
It's like
in.
how you've helped me scale my business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like with your coaching, right?
Yeah.
So let's say they're starting their coaching business and they're a bit stuck and they just don't know what to do. Like from all the people that you've coached, what is like the one thing that constantly comes up again that is like a switch that needs to happen for someone
Yeah.
to make that breakthrough? Is it mostly mindset? Is it mostly strategy? Is it accountability? What is the thing that, let's say, a coach that's watching this is like, how can I break through? Is it maybe you've got some value there?
No, I certainly have. Yeah. Look, it's all mindset. For me, everything is mindset, everything. Because with the right mindset, you'll find the right strategies. One of the most important things is for people to focus on becoming really good at what they do. People focus on money. People want to make money, and people they like the numbers. £30,000 a month, £50,000 a month, £100,000 a month, 150,000, 200,000, a million. They love the idea of the numbers. But who do you need to become in order for you to be able to produce those numbers? And this is where
Yeah.
sometimes that we are trying to focus on the numbers and not even recognize that we need to develop the skill in order to be able to, connect with people in such a way that people are prepared to exchange that money with you so that you then make the numbers. We don't always focus on that. We don't always focus on becoming really good at what we do. We just focus on the money, 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 money. If you focus on the money, you're not going to make any. You've got to focus on being good at what you do, developing the skills. If you've got to do a webinar, well, develop your skills so that you can deliver really good webinars. If you're doing a podcast, if you're doing a video, anything, the first time you do it, it's going to be crap. No doubt. It's going to be shit. I review my students, their stuff sometimes, and the first time I see it is shit. However, go for a process of developing that, developing. Let's just see where we're at. And let's now focus on really improving. That's the biggest thing of where I see people going wrong is their focus is in the wrong place and they don't always want to give themselves the time, to really develop because they're expecting instant return. I do one video, even though that video is terrible, it's all pixelated, you can't even hear nothing. But what's going on? Where's the money? Where's the money? Because you're doing one action and you're expecting an immediate return. It doesn't work like that. As you know this, it doesn't work like that. I mean, even when you look at it, when we started our coaching, we tried maybe doing the bit of this and trying to do a bit of that. It might have worked in for somebody else or whatever, but it didn't necessarily take off for me in the way that we wanted it to. So what do? We tweak, we apply, we tweak, we apply, we tweak, we apply. We keep doing that. We just keep doing that. And for where I've always known that you've got your heart is in the right place and you're genuinely here to help me. And but by helping me, you're going to help yourself. And you've got that at the forefront. You haven't got making money at the forefront. You've got how can you help me at the forefront. That's why I've continued to work with you, and I will continue to work with you. And I can see us working together for like forever.
Forever.
Yeah. Why would I not? Because I
Yeah,
think your heart's in the right place, and you've always come across in the right way. And I know that you're not just about the money. So you're practicing exactly what I'm saying. You're a young guy, and if you just treat people well with the integrity that you want to help them, they will be your Raven fan. I'm a Raven fan of yours, my friend. I was talking about you last night. I
really.
was my missus, yeah, to my girlfriend. I was talking to her about you, and I was saying, yeah, no, he's a really good guy. And what I like about him so much, I told her about how we met on LinkedIn and everything like that. But I've just said, look, what I really, really love about Jay is that I just feel that he's on my team. He's on my side. He wants to see me do well, and as a result of me doing well, and she said to me, yeah, but obviously he's helped you make a lot of money, right? And I'm like, yeah, like, some of the things that we've done worked really well. It's like, oh, but do you think that he might be thinking, oh, well, I wish I was making some of that money, Jay? And I'm like, well, there might be somewhere in his mind where obviously he's stepping up his business and he's growing it all the time, but he is about helping me. So from where he's about helping me, his business will naturally grow. I've recommended people to you, as you know,
Yeah.
because you've done such a good job. So the better the job that you do, the more, and your job is to get me leads to help me to make more money. That's it. So I was talking about you last night, saying all positive things. And we mentioned yesterday that we might meet up at some point very soon. And I'm very much looking forward to that as well. So it's you, Jay. Like, you are the right person in terms of to coach people or to do delivery or whatever you're going to do with some of your clients, because your heart's in the right place. It really is. And well done for being that way, because not everyone's like that. Not everyone gets it. People just want money, and they're just focused on the money. They can't help talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I felt that all you were was about the money, 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 then I'll be like, well, let me try somebody else now. Do you get what I'm saying? I wouldn't say, oh yeah, he's a nice enough guy, but yeah, he's a good enough guy. But let me try the other person that, there's loads of people saying the same shit. Yeah, like I can help you get leads, all this type of stuff. Let me try the other guy. But I will never try anybody else now, Jay, because I love what you're about. So that's anyway, I'm going off track a little bit. That's what I'm saying in terms of
Yeah.
what we need to
I'm
focus
gonna like quickly draw a few like connections here because
on.
obviously you spoke about you have to really improve your craft, you have to really improve your skill, you have to give, give, give.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you sold your car in order to invest in someone else in order to learn. So I think a conclusion to that is people have to invest in themselves, they have to develop their skills and have to give enough value to the marketplace in order to reach their goals. Is that right?
Exactly. And just fully understand it. Yeah, and lead with that. Don't just, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Like lead with it. Like recognize this is how you become successful. So as a result of that, this is now who I'm gonna be. Focus on just being of service, doing a good job for people, and then you'll be given your rewards as a result of the actions of what you do.
Yeah. Cool, Jay. You probably have to leave soon, right? So, just as a conclusion, where should people find you? What is your goals for the next few years?
Okay.
And yeah, give people
Okay.
maybe a bit of advice, a last bit of wisdom.
All right. So my where my future is going. Look, I just want to just grow bigger and bigger within what I do here, like
Yeah.
with fears about success. I do some keynote speeches as well. So I speak to universities and some private establishments and stuff like that. So I do keynote. I want to do more of that. You've got some of these speakers out there that would get paid multiple six figures just to speak for like 90 minutes. Yeah, that's where I want to go with everything of what I'm doing. I'm doing it now, but I'm not getting paid multiple six figures for that. I'm not quite at that stage yet. So I'm gonna just keep on growing in that area, and just keep on helping people. Really, like keep on, trying to really connect with people that really need what it is that I've got to, direct them. Mindset, understanding who they need to become, all that stuff. Just keep on doing that. Really, that's where I'm going. I want to, reach I want to be as big as I can be within the space of what it is that I do. Tony Robbins, watch out. I'm not the Tony Robbins,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So, that's where I want to head with everything. So, for anyone that wants to look me up, you can find out more about me and my program and what I do at seriousaboutsuccess.com. So yeah, so that's me really. Final words of wisdom or inspiration, I guess, would be, look, I could talk about this all day, Jay. That's the thing. Because, look, just as I just said that, something popped into my mind. Right. Okay. Let me just. I will kind of leave on this one. Expectation. You will always hit your level of expectation, and what I mean by that is, if you look at the people that you have grown up around, okay, now if you think about it, some of us might have grown up in a scenario or in situations where, our mum and dad and, other people around us are struggling and stuff like that. Like I grew up, in struggle, So that then means that, what did I learn? I learned to struggle. So that then meant that when I'm old now, or older as an adult, of course, I'm still going to continue to take that same behavior that I learned when I was like, 2 years old to struggle, that will now transfer into adulthood and just automatically we're conditioned to struggle. So we'll sabotage ourselves so that then we don't make any additional money. Because at the end of the day, what will that now mean for the identity of who we think we are? So we grow up in an environment, we grow up in a certain way, we now develop an identity. Now, that identity could be to struggle, but subconsciously, we don't realize that we are programmed to struggle. Okay, so then that then means that we can go and do all these get rich quick courses, we can make more money, we can do this, we can do that, but chances are we're always going to end up sabotaging ourselves to bring us back to the identity of what it is that we recognize. And I know that the bills might be dropping through the door, and we can't pay them and all the rest of it, but that's what we're used to because that's what we saw when we was growing up. That's what we've seen all around us. So it's a part of our comfort zone. And then now you want to start a business and start making all this money. You get started, but then you start procrastinating, you start sabotaging, because again, this is pushing you way out of your comfort zone, of which your comfort zone is to struggle. These are all ways of how our minds are programmed, of which if we do not become a lot more self-aware as per how our own individual brains are programmed, if we do not become self-aware, then chances are you will never become financially successful. You can't. Because of where you hold yourself, where your identity is. And believe it or not, your subconscious will fight you to keep you in that exact same position. And consciously, you'll be saying, oh, yeah, but I want to make all this money. Subconscious, we got to sabotage all of that because it doesn't meet what we know, what you know about you, which is to struggle and just get by. So these are things of what I teach to really help people to reprogram their minds so that they can now, start having some greater expectations and really now start attracting it based on how their mind has now been rewired. If you think about kids growing up in, really affluent places, over here in London, you might have Chelsea or Mayfair, you might have heard of those places.
Yeah.
Very affluent, we're talking like old money. We're talking like rich, really, really, really rich people, right? Their children are not going to grow up in the same environment. They're not going to grow up with the same conditioning of struggle. So that then means that as them kids get older, it's easy for them to start attracting a lot more money because they've seen mum, dad, aunties, uncles, everyone around them has been doing it throughout their whole entire life. So for them to now start attracting a great level of success when it comes to monetary, it's easy. It's a lot easier because they haven't got all of these barriers and sabotage and all this stuff to get in the way. And, oh, I'm not good enough. Hang on a minute. Well, hang on a minute. Do you get what I mean? So they don't have that. So it's easier for them to attract. So these are real blueprint things that we need to understand about our own psychology, which is going to stop you from achieving the ultimate financial success that you want.
Yeah.
Me, and mic drop.
It's all about getting rid of the limiting beliefs, right? Otherwise, you'll never be able to get to the next level.
You can't because you're always then going to be fighting yourself. You're always going to be fighting. It's like when we go to the gym, we all of a sudden at the start of the year, we want to go to the gym. Well, we haven't been to the gym, however long. And now we've got to convince ourselves that this is the right thing to do. The subconscious is like, well, hang on a minute. Well, no, you're used to watching the football and having some beers on the sofa. So, that's your comfort zone. So we can go to the gym for a week, but then after that, we find ourselves back on the sofa because that's the comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's about really reprogramming the mind, and reprogramming it for a much higher level of attraction and success.
Awesome. Jay, that was a great talk. Obviously, I'll pop your links and all that good stuff down below so people can check you out. And let's make 2025 even better. And hope you guys got some value from this because this is extremely valuable, especially for those that are struggling with that mindset, right? Never thinking that they're good enough to reach certain milestones. So
Yeah, yeah,
awesome.
that's it. That's it. Cool,
Have a
excellent.
great day.
Jay, all good? Happy?
All good. Yep.
So much for having me on, my man. Thank you so much.
Okay.